Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. If you've chosen this video, it must be because you are experiencing some sciatic pain, which I send my love to you. That is never a fun case to withstand. So if you're here though, you're in the right place. We're going to work through some different things that can help to sort of sort it out or calm it. One of the things about the sciatic pain that people feel is that it's also been misunderstood to be a diagnosis, as people saying that they have sciatica, when really it is a symptom. The nerve is very clearly can be pinched. Sometimes this comes from piriformis syndrome, or sometimes this comes from an angry sciatic nerve. Who knows what's going on in there? But the thing is when it's happening, you know it's there. And typically it can be on one side. Sometimes it shifts back and forth. And very rare occasions, I've never actually personally come across this, but I've heard stories of people having a double sciatic sort of thing happening. So first and foremost, we are going to start off with what is called nerve flossing, and that is honing in specifically on that nerve through movement. It can be a bit of a tough one, so make sure to go easy on yourself. Take breaks when you need to. Dial back on the intensity if you need to, if you're going too hard. You really want to approach this with some extra care, okay? And you know, at the same time, ice or heat can be your friend. Drink lots of water, take care of yourself, and do what you need to do to help the sciatica work its way out. Okay, so let's get to that first nerve flossing exercise I just spoke about, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, here we go. So we're going to be working the sciatic nerve through flossing it. And for this exercise, I want you to focus only on the side that is bothering you. So for the sake of this video, I will be working my right side if my right side is where I'm feeling that sciatic pain. So what we're going to start by doing is laying on our back, and soles of the feet are on the floor. Good. What we're going to do is we are going to reach for behind the leg with our hands. So clasp them together if you can. If you need a strap and you need a little bit of help, that is fine. So we're going to keep a little bit of flexion in the upper back. And from here, you're going to flex your foot and extend your leg up towards the ceiling until you feel a good bit of tension. Do not force it straight. You want to come just to a point where you can feel that there's a good amount of tension behind that knee. So from here, holding on, what we're going to do is we're going to start to point and flex our foot as if you're pressing a gas pedal. Good, and you will start to feel that nerve sort of kick up. But we're going to keep going through, pressing back and forth about 5 times and coming back to relax. So you can bring your knee up towards your chest and then come on back down and coming up again, flexing through that foot, stretching that leg up only to about where you feel a good amount of tension, and gas pedaling, pressing through the foot, pointing and flexing. Try to relax the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Good. Work through it about 5 times and come on back. So that there is nerve flossing for you. So hopefully you feel some relief from that. Work through it as much as you'd like and let me know how it goes. All right, the next exercise that we're going to work through is a nice passive one, and it is called cobblers or butterfly pose, and people call it Buddha pose. I'm sure you're probably familiar with it. This is a really great one because it opens up the hip and the glutes and everything, so it allows to create space within the hip bones, which will help to take some of the pressure off of the sciatic nerve, the fascia, all of the connective tissue and muscles around it. So hopefully going to give you some release by opening up and making some space within your pelvis. So what is going to happen for this one is you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So if this feels like an easy thing for you, bring your heels a little bit closer towards your pelvis to deepen the stretch. If you find it tough in this position, give your heels some more room, so you're going to pull them away from your body to make more of sort of like a diamond shape with your legs, just to give yourself some extra space and see if that works for you. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to sit up nice and tall. Again, pull that butt flesh out from under you, root down through your sits bones. Good. Take a nice deep breath, open up your chest, shoulders are nice and broad on your back. And what we're going to do is holding onto the soles of your feet or coming onto the floor in front of you, palms down, you're going to start to hinge forward. So from here, we don't want to break in the back yet. So I want you to stay nice and tall out of your back and come to the point where it feels like you've gone so far that in order to go further, you would have to round your back. So before we round our back, we're going to hang out here for about 30 seconds. Really feel that stretch within and between the hips, into the glutes, the low back. You can feel it in your inner thighs, all of that. Breathe into it, and then at about 30-45 seconds, drop your elbows, drop your forehead towards your feet, and just relax into it. Just a little note for those of you who might have really, really tight hamstrings and knees in this position. If it's really tough for you, feel free to add some pillows under your knees or a block to give you some extra support to allow your legs to relax. So if you have really tight hamstrings and you're finding it hard to get past here, I don't want you stretching like this, okay? So give yourself some support so that your body can trust the stretch and bring yourself forward and into it. So hope this one helps. Hope you enjoy it. I know I love it. It's just such a relaxing pose to be in to begin with. So there's not much that is complicated about it. Just breathe into it. Hold it for as long as you can and as long as you can enjoy it, but at least holding from between 30 and 90 seconds. If 90 seconds is too long for you, again, just break it up into a couple little segments, come out and take a break, give your legs a wiggle and do whatever it is that you need to do for you. So we're keeping it very simple with the next stretch, and this stretch is going to be a wide-legged child's pose. So this is really just to give your low back a chance to lengthen out, but keep opening up through that hips and that glute area that we talked about earlier in this video. So if you've never done this before, or if you need to be coached through it, basically we're going to bring our knees nice and wide, so you're kind of coming wider than your hips. I like to keep my big toes touching behind me, and then we're gently just going to fall forward. So reaching forward, forehead comes onto the mat if you can, or you can make a little pillow with your hands stacked, whatever works for you. And hold on to this one as well. This is a really good one to hold. Rule of thumb, always 30 to 90 seconds, but hey, if you can hang out there for 5 minutes and you find relief in that pose, by all means, do it. So the last stretch of this series for today is a down dog. So downward facing dog, if you're not familiar with yoga, this is a yoga pose. If you haven't been to one of my Osteoga classes, this is a challenge for you to start to get to it. So this is basically just making a giant V with your body. And the reason why we're going to do it is because it really is a beautiful universal stretch for your body. You're going to feel a nice pull behind the back of the legs, and a nice opening through the chest, stretch through the shoulders. It's a wonderful thing. So to do this, we're going to start by getting into a tabletop position. So the shoulders are going to sit right over the wrists and the hips right over the knees. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our toes under behind us. So firing up those abs, we are going to lift our knees and press our hips up towards the ceiling, and subsequently bringing our upper body through our arms. So the biceps are really just about next to your ears, and the legs are coming straight if you can get them straight. So the goal is to get the heels of the foot down towards the floor. This takes years of mastering, so don't stress out if they're not quite there. Just try to lean into the stretch, open up those hips up towards the ceiling, and really, really just let that stretch flow for you. Such a good one, all the way down the back of the leg. If you need a break, come on out. You can bend through the knees, come on back up, or if you're feeling like maybe a break with movement, you can do what's called walking the dog, so you can pedal your feet and kind of really work through swinging the hips, really opening up that low back area to try to alleviate those sciatic symptoms that you're feeling. So hopefully all of these together are going to work out for you and you're going to feel some relief. Like I said in the beginning, make sure to drink lots of water, make sure to keep up with what works for you, whether it's heat or ice. I know in my sake, usually ice helps to calm nerve pain. So I usually side on the side of ice, but again, it is all up to what works with your body. So make sure to leave me a comment, shoot me a message wherever you can. I'd love to hear how your progress goes, and I hope you're feeling better soon.